Natalia Montes is among a group of primary school students engaged in a 4-week summer program in coding.
This is Sprite. Not the Sprite that you drink. It's like a character in a game or animation that moves and behaves in like a game like Pac-Man, Mario. Like you see that when you're offline, that dinosaur.
Montes and her peers are applying numerous skills during the time spent in their coding class. Those skills include effective communication, critical and innovative thinking, collaboration and digital literacy. Character development and emotional intelligence are also employed during their daily closing sessions, when the class gathers to discuss the lessons learned for that day and the challenges faced.
How many of you found challenges today? All right, did you give up when you found the challenge? No. Because we said what? We only fail if we do not try. Great, okay, high five. High five, and let me check your lessons.
As commonplace as this approach to learning may be, it differs greatly from the traditional educational approach. Judy Bautista, the coding instructor, uses what is known as a competency-based approach. The focus here is not only on knowledge or what the child knows, but he or she must also be able to demonstrate that they can apply what they know and that they have acquired positive values in the process. Dr. Louis Zabane, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, explained why Belize's education sector is transitioning towards competency-based education.
So the short answer is poor student performance. Poor student performance both within the education system in terms of when they do summative exams or when they do even the little bit of formative exams that were being done. But also, very importantly, the responses we get from the private sector and other non-governmental sectors, that our students have many gaps when they come for an interview. There's a letter that is sent, maybe requested, and even in the letter, you see many errors in how they cannot handle the English language well, they can't communicate well.
The Belize National Curriculum Framework is guiding the transformation of Belize's education sector. The 40-page document lists 7 key learning areas, including language, mathematics, expressive arts, physical education, and wellness. Contrary to traditional standardized assessments, competency-based assessments aim to evaluate and build the knowledge, skills, and attitudes of the learner. Claribel Kokom is an itinerant officer for the new competency-based curriculum. As a teacher, she has spent the last 2 decades in the classroom.
In traditional, we have tests, we have quizzes, we have the normal exams at the end of the units, and so students will be categorized based on that. It's a one-cap-fits-all. In competency, it's different. It's ongoing formative assessments. It's a lot of feedback that will guide the students and it will guide the teachers, so the students know exactly where they are, what competency they need to master. You have some students failing a test, but it's not that they didn't learn the lesson. It's just that they're not good at pen and pencil. So when it comes to competency, they'll be able to tell me in a different manner how I learned that concept.
11-year-old Jahim Kok is on the 3rd lesson in his coding class. The instruction given to him is to collect all the treasures as seen on the monitor. But as he attempts to do so, he is faced with a challenge. He must now apply critical and innovative thinking, along with his reading skills and digital literacy to solve the problem. He quickly makes the necessary correction and completes the instruction for lesson 3. How would somebody use something like this, lessons like this, in a real world scenario?
Well, maybe in my opinion, well, maybe this can be helpful if you're going to be a technician, or you're just one of those mechanics that fix phones and then reprogram the phone to make sure not any viruses in it. So I feel like technician would be the best choice of this being helpful in the future.
One of the primary features of the Ministry of Education's National Curriculum Framework is digital literacy. The objective of this competency area is to have students move from being merely consumers to being active creators of digital content. Adrienne Coleman is a digital learning and development specialist at Digital Learning and Pedagogy Solutions. She explained why, of all the 7 competencies outlined in the framework, digital literacy is a priority.
The digital is very important in the curriculum because there are the development of the technology impacts industry. It's very, very important. So in order to prepare our students for that kind of industry, we need to train them how to use the technology in a creative way, in a collaborative way, in a way that they are using their critical thinking skills so that they can survive in industry 4.0 or in the modern industry that they will face when they are done with school.
The Ministry of Education piloted its National Curriculum Framework during the 2021-2022 school year. According to Dr. Zabane, qualitative data shows signs of improvements in students across the country. One challenge is that some teachers are more reluctant to embrace this approach than others. On one hand, the approach will require a greater degree of thoughtfulness and creativity in developing lessons plans. On the other hand, teachers need training.
That, I think, is where we're going to have as much work to do to be able to get our teachers up to that level, and that's going to take some time. So we feel that over the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to try to get teachers all at one level across the country so they can implement competency-based education.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.